Hello guys, this is Miss Duvon, and in this video we are going to focus on our reading class first quarter review. We are going to focus specifically on the reading skills that we learned this quarter. Our objective is to understand the development of characters in a text, identify the author's purpose, identify sequence of events, and understand and analyze story structure. The first skill that we are going to learn about is understanding characters. In order to learn about a character, we need to find clues or text evidence that helps us understand them. And when we understand that character, we learn a lot about their personalities. To understand a character, we need to focus on the thoughts they have, their words, and their actions. This will help us understand how a character responds to changes throughout these stories. Our second skill is the author's purpose. Every author has a reason or a purpose for writing. There's three main purposes. We have persuade, which is to convince the reader about a certain topic. Inform, which is to share information about a certain topic. And entertain, which is to make the person that is reading our text have fun, to enjoy the reading. So whenever we are reading a story or a text, we have to figure out, why did the author write this? Is the author trying to persuade me? Is the author trying to inform me? Or does he want to entertain me? Our next skill is story structure. When we talk about story structure, we have to focus on this mountain right here, the story structure mountain, right? It all begins with an introduction. This is where the story begins. They give us the main idea of the story, and they mention the characters and the setting. It's followed by the rising action, which is where the plot begins. This is where our story starts getting spicier. This is where the conflict is introduced. We learn what the problem of our story is. Then we have the climax, which is the breaking point, the top of the mountain. The problem is huge at this point, okay? And there is no solution yet. So it's just a big problem that we have right there. We don't know what is going to happen. That feeling that we get at that point of the story, that's our climax. Then we have the falling action. Finally, things start to get a little bit better. We start to find solutions to our problem. Okay? We start to fix the situation and the conflict starts to get resolved. And last but not least, we get out of the mountain and we find our resolution, which is when we finally have peace. The problem is solved, the conflict is solved, okay? And we are just going and learning the consequences of the problem and solution that we had. Basically, the resolution is the end of our story. So whenever you read a text, guys, make sure you find your story structure. Look for your introduction, your rising action, your climax, your falling action, and your resolution. Last but not least, we have sequence of events. This one is easy, guys. Whenever you read a text, you know that a text is always in a specific order, right? So what we have to do is that we need to learn to identify that order, okay? We always have the first or the beginning of our story, we say next to the section that comes right after the beginning of the story. Okay, it gives us like more details, it gets spicier. Then we have then. Okay, and this is when the problem is out there and we are trying to find the solution. Okay, the text is taking us to try to find the solution of what is going on in our story or our text. Okay, and last but not least, we have the end, which is the last part, when the problem is solved, everything is fine, the ending of our story goes on our last. Okay, basically, sequence of events is telling the story in the correct order. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope it helps you out with our expositions that we're going to have this week. Make sure you come to class so that you can work with your groups. It's very important that you guys come to class, work, and participate in the activities that we have each week. I will see you in class. Bye!